90s Compaq tower, you say? Yes, indeed. And it's one of those funny shaped ones too. Though I don't think there were any Presarios that were normal shaped. I think this one looks kind of like a cobra with these things sticking out on the side. Well, let's find out if it's ready to strike or strike out. Let's get into it. You know, one could call it a striking design, being so cobra-like. I just love it though, the way these unnecessarily flare out. Looks like some pinchable cheeks. Yeah, here's the side view. See, there's nothing else to it. It's just a funny shaped faceplate. See, we're sporting an Intel Pentium 1 and a very original looking CD-ROM drive, and obviously original floppy drive. And that model badge has a little bit of e-waste rash, but it reads 8702. I wonder if that'll clean up a little. And we've got a multimedia control panel here up top. And look at that, they even bothered to give the moon a face. That's some attention to detail. It's even embossed. I wonder if anybody ever used these buttons. Oh, that one's a little sticky. Getting stuck down. Clearly nobody ever used this one, otherwise that would be worn off. And I noticed this system doesn't have a power button, so it's one of those always-on systems that just goes into sleep mode. So we'll have to interrogate that power supply really good, because that function can be somewhat hard on them, especially considering this is probably a pre-ATX system. And the corners of that panel are pulling up a little. Wonder if anything can be done about that. Let's see, we've got some more e-waste rash here. But overall though, it's in pretty good condition. And I love how all the Compaqs of this era have this stance, where it looks like they want to jump forward, ready to leap into the new millennium. And you know, my heart almost skipped a beat when I saw that intact warranty sticker, but clearly it's just something somebody stuck back on, because they're missing a peripheral card there. And I don't think old Compaq would have left that empty. That would not have passed QC. But here's a full view of the back. It's pretty basic, but the presence of USB is especially nice, especially for a late 90s system. We got some kind of sound card there, and I can already see the dusticles in that power supply. So we definitely have high hour usage, or low hour usage in a dirty environment, which is probably just as bad. Anyways, let's get this thing open. And yes, we're going to preserve the legacy of the surviving warranty sticker. That thing is well stuck back on there. These tweezers don't have enough grip. Yeah, that was definitely a re-stick. And this being a 90s Compaq, of course, the easiest way in is a T15 Torx driver. And then this just slides back. And looks like we have a complete system. I see a hard drive under there. Alright, first off, let's get this out of here. Looks like we gotta disconnect the connections to the sound card, which does look OEM. And supposedly, these just pull out. Simple enough. Ah, what is that card? It's got these gigantic NEC video logic chips. It has a Compaq sticker on it down there. Let's check that out. Okay, this has got to be some kind of MPEG decoder or 3D accelerator, maybe both. It's hard to grasp the size of these chips on the camera. They're massive. This is interesting. It's even more interesting that it's OEM. And I sure hope that hard drive works, so we can see what they were running on this. Let's see, that sound card looks interesting too. Let's check it out. Alright, definitely OEM. I think that's an AMD chipset. Wait, is this one of those OEM Gravis ultrasound type cards? I think that's an Interwave chipset. And the memory slot's kind of telling. I'm not too sure about this one. I don't see OPL anywhere. Certainly looks advanced though. And that's going to be a tough lineup for a dial-up modem to follow. Yep, basic as they come. 9296 Compaq modem board. With an AT&T chipset. And a 2.5mm keep out zone. That's interesting. What is it keeping out? Interesting. That riser has an interesting layout too. The way they sandwich the PCI slots in between the ISA can tell us there's a transitional period where PCI was slowly starting to creep in. And I see the hard drive comes in the form of a quantum Bigfoot with only 2.5 gigabytes, which actually was huge for 1996. And look at those monster VRM heat sinks. It's almost as much cooling surface area as the CPU itself. And I'm dying to know, what is this daughter board here? It's got to be VRAM expansion, right? For that S3 Verge down there? Oh yeah, definitely. We will just put that right back. And I see we have a header for an MPEG decoder, so this probably could be made to play DVDs with a somewhat reasonable frame rate. And I see we have our CPU cache up there. It's called a Coast module, or cache on a stick. Has a Compaq sticker, so obviously original. Let's get this big audio cable out of here. Oh, that thing's on there. Don't want to damage that, it's very special. Alright, now, let's see exactly which Pentium we have. Before the thermal paste era. Or just extremely perished thermal paste. Let's see, what are you? An I-166. Actually, that's not even showing up on camera, is it? There we go. So I guess it's a non-MMX. You know, I was expecting a ceramic top in here. These dates are kind of confusing. So all those cards have 1996 on it. But I guess that chip was cutting edge for 1996. I think that's 166 megahertz. Oh, and there's the Compaq motherboard doodle. I don't know what in the world that's supposed to be. Some kind of Punisher skull alien with dreadlocks? Yeah, I don't know what they were going for there. And thumbs down for a soldered battery, but at least those don't leak. However, it has a very strange footprint, so I'll probably have to attach an external battery holder. We'll take care of that later. Alright, let's check out the RAM. Compaq original seems to match. And I believe this to be an 8 megabyte stick. And yeah, the next one looks exactly the same. Precisely the same. So 16 megs in total. Very good. Alright, let's get the hard drive out of the way. Looks like we have a single screw here. And I guess it's a sliding operation after that. Yep, indeed. Sliding / hinging operation. And let's clear the rest of these out. And you know, the system is surprisingly clean for how dusty the power supply is. And it is one of those always-on AT power supplies. I think they take a non-standard power signal. Some of them do. I'll have to see if this one does. Otherwise, they just run all the time. Okay, now let's see how floppy removal is supposed to work. Looks like this is a separate little caddy held on with these two screws. Indeed it is. And I think these two T9 screws are enough to take the CD-ROM drive out. Hopefully, otherwise I gotta dig that side panel off. Aha, yes. Thankful for that, because I was not looking forward to removing the other side panel. And there's that quantum Bigfoot, 2.5 gigabytes. Yeah, these things are so funny. It's a 5¼ inch width, but they're super thin. And these can be kind of hit or miss in terms of reliability. I have an 8 gigabyte that's still working to this day, but I'm guessing this is an earlier one. Not sure about their earlier failure rates. They didn't have the best reputation, but let's hope, because I really want to see what's on there. And there's our CD-ROM drive, made by Matsushita, model CR-583, with a CCQ appended to the end, so specially manufactured for Compaq, in July 1996. So at least I know this faceplate could probably swap to a regular CR-583 if this drive is no good. It's very important to maintain that original look, you know. And here's our Compaq original floppy drive, made by Mitsubishi in May 1996. Let's get it apart and give it some service. I think we can just pry our way in here. Nah, gotta hit the other side. So close, there. All right, other than a light smattering of dust and some perished grease, we don't look too bad in here. So we'll just give it a sweeping and run my Q-tip in dust collector mode. See, when they flare out like that, that's when the getting really gets good. All right, that's good enough. Now I shall clean the heads. Looking good. And refresh this grease. Especially this grease. Man, that's really perished. It's like sticky. Not moving well. I'm gonna have to go harder on this one more than usual. All right, I think that's all of it. Now let's park that and apply some fresh. And we'll just clean up the plasticky bits and get the rest of these dust bunnies that I missed. Now let's check the disc mechanism. Ooh, what's happening there? Oh, I guess it was just a little sticky. It just takes an abnormally large amount of force to drop. But it's working well enough. You can go deeper into these, like getting the disc mechanism apart and greasing all under there. I generally only do that if they're really bad. Alright, so I don't believe there are any non-standard power on signals for this power supply. It just looks like a bog standard AT style. And that tracks with the dust on it. Look at that. Because this would be running all the time. But let's see if it even works before I go taking it apart and cleaning it. Alright, got 2 sacrificial hard drives thrown in for flavor. Let's see what it does. Hey, it works. And we are at 12 volts, so that's good. Let's check the 5. And 5 is 5. A little high, but still 5. We'll just let this thing run for as long as it will. And you know, I expected that fan to sound worse. It actually sounds okay. But I can barely hear anything on those noisy old sacrificial hard drives. Okay, well, it's been about 5 minutes. I think we're good. They just sound worse and worse. All right, time to risk my entire whole life. Yeah, that's right, this is the part where I tell you this is pretty dangerous, taking these apart. So dangerous that they tell you in several languages. Yeah, you can't tell me you didn't understand that. That's not going to keep me and dangerous voltages apart. Let's see, we got a single screw up here. And looks like 2 on the bottom. And how about you? There we go. Alright, component-wise, it actually looks like a pretty decent one. Just a little bit dusty. I'm actually going to vac this one. Alright, that fan is good, but it needs to come out, because it's just so incredibly dusty. What, does that thing not want to let go? Don't make me get the chip lifter. Wow, they didn't want that thing to come off. Too bad. Get out of there. Oh, it's an NMB fan. No wonder it's in good condition, bearing-wise. Let's do it a favor. Okay, let's hear the solo act. Sounds excellent. Moving plenty of air. Fantastic. Okay, now let's get this motherboard out of here and see what we're doing about that battery. Seems to just be a screwy operation. But I'm pretty sure I'm also gonna have to remove these port standoffs. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, are we out now? Yep, indeed. And we already know it's dead, but let's make sure. Yep, indeed. So dead it went negative. Okay, here's where it's located on the underside of the board. Let's get some flux on there. And I'm going to use some desoldering alloy, since I know these are going to be a bear to get off without it. Just work that in. And now with just the lightest bit of prying pressure, it doesn't take much at all. Barely the weight of the tool. And there it is. And I'll get a little bit more flux on there and try to pull as much of that solder through as we can. And yeah, standard board mount CR2032 socket's not gonna fit. It's just way too big compared to the old battery. So I'm gonna have to go external and attach one of these. And let's just trim up that little excess and clean up the flux. And done. Now I'll just secure those connections with some hot glue. That'll get the strain off them. And of course you get a massive hot glue string. No problem. We just wait for it to dry and yoink. Now let's get the battery in there. Make sure this thing is on, and it is. Now let's get the heatsink cleaned up. And I guess this aluminum had a nasty reaction with that thermal paste, because it sure does stain a lot. Let's see, sometimes a magic eraser pulls more out. Yeah, actually pulls a lot more out. Now let's reunite the two. And I got the case cleaned up, so I'm gonna stick the battery holder down with some Velcro. Just gonna put it right here. Okay, we're ready to test this thing. Let's hit the power switch. And it comes to life. And it posts. Counted up 24 megs of RAM. Alright, I guess that's the correct disk type. I didn't know we were still using type numbers in this time period. I would like to go in and set the date and time, but I don't see that option. Well, let's see. Let's save changes and see if it boots. Yeah, I'd like to fix that. Date and time not set. There we go. Computer setup. Yeah, here we are. Ooh, do we get a mouse in here? No, we don't. Why do they make it look GUI-ish? Okay, yeah, we got that. Computer setup. There we go. Oh, there's a mouse. Yeah, it can be 12 AM, who cares? What's up with that memory count? That is not what I thought it was going to be. What's going on here? I was sure there were two 8 megabyte sticks. Unless this has some onboard RAM somewhere that I missed. Well, apparently this doesn't say. Alright, let's exit out of here. See, I saw a computer tests option. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Computer checkup. Compaq diagnostics are intended for testing only Compaq supplied components. Testing of non-Compaq components may be inconclusive. Do you think they could sell it any harder? Well, let's see, the memory is a Compaq component. View device list. Hear the floppy drive clicking. Boy, this takes forever. How could there possibly be this much data about a serial port? There we go. And there's no SCSI. Although I see it probulating the CD-ROM drive. Finally! But that still doesn't tell me anything extra about the memory. The only piece of information I was interested in. But since we're here, what do we got? 2 megs video memory. Hard drive is detected correctly. The CD-ROM drive is 8 speeds. Apparently it's never had a BIOS update. And that is it. That literally took about 5 minutes for it to generate that. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's try to boot this thing. Yes. Whoa, what is this? I've never seen this splash screen before. Gotta be Windows 95, right? Alright, I was getting worried there for a second. Thought it wasn't gonna boot, but you might be making progress. Hard drive's not making very much noise. Think the hard drive might not be healthy. It's just sitting there clicking like it's stuck. Man, I really want to see what this thing has on it. Especially with that custom Compaq-ified boot screen. I might need to try a DD rescue on that hard drive. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem to be behaving correctly. It's just clicking in time with that light blinking. And at this point the boot sequence is frozen, so let's try a power cycle. Oh wait, as soon as I said that, it started knocking differently. Oh no, we're definitely cooked. Well, we'll retry just for the hell of it. Well, you know, maybe I'll just let it run for a while. Sometimes these things come back to life once they've got some heat inside them. Let's just give it a power cycle. Sure doesn't sound the best spinning down. I'll let it spin all the way down. Alright, let's go. Well, now I get data error. I'm not sure if that's better or worse than before, but you know what? I better try to take an image of it, just in case it's getting worse. Let's shut it down. Well, let's see if my IDE adapter even recognizes this drive. It does have a pretty epic spin-up sound, doesn't it? Alright, we're doing something. Alright, and we're detected. I'm not going to mount it. Let's see, what block device was that? SDB? We're going to DD it. We'll see how far DD gets. Well, I'd say we're about 10% there. Uh-oh. Heard some clicking, but it kept going. Oh, halfway there. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm not even sitting down. We are cloning on a prayer. Oh, we made it to 2 gigabytes. Ooh, we're so close, but the speed has dropped a little. It's a little concerning. Don't tell me it's going to fail right at the end. Oh, it was just clicking. No, it got a clean image. Now that was lucky. It does make me wonder if this drive is actually physically failing or if it just has some file system corruption. I'm tempted to put it back in there and run ScanDisk on it, now that we've preserved the data. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Who knows, maybe that little bit of exercise woke it up. Guess we'll also find out if the floppy drive works. Sounds healthy-ish. Oh, that thing sounds delicious. It's so loud. Alright, we'll start without CD-ROM support for now. Just want to see the boot quick. Ooh, listen to that thing. That is the raw mechanical nonsense that I live for. There really is no other more nostalgic sound for me than a floppy drive. And we're there. Not forgetting the autofix flag ever again. Okay, yeah, there. It's doing that thing where it gets stuck and clicks. It didn't do that one time during the image. Alright, scan disk is on the case. Alright, let's go. We don't care about undoing. We have an image. Okay, so we have one bad sector already, most likely that one I just encountered. We'll see if there's any more. Yeah, I should have done this in Linux, but scan disk is cooler. And I see whoever owned this thing kept up with their defragging. Look how tidy that is. Okay, right in the danger zone now. Are we good? So you mean to tell me that one bad sector caused all that grief? Yeah, all it takes is one bad one. And yeah, it looks like that was the only one. Unbelievable. Well, let's see if it boots now. Get that disk out. Control-Alt-Delete. Come on, boot that image. Okay, yeah, there we go. Oh, safe recovery. Setup encountered problems or did not complete in a previous installation. Ah, somebody was in the process of restoring this thing. And I bet that hard drive failed in the middle of it. Well, let's see if we can get through. Close enough. Let's go. Man, we really are brand new. Guess there's not gonna be much to see here. Oh, I definitely don't have that. Wasn't it like all ones? I might have to go hunting for one of these. Yeah, re-enter. 1-800, are you legit? Am I legit? Let's find out. Oh, there was one more, or 5 more. Am I legit now? Ah, I guess it doesn't work against this. Let's see how it likes this. And no, I'm not giving it to you. You do your own dirty work. And it worked. Hooray. Let's configure my computer. I sure hope this came from the actual restore CD. It'd be very tough to hunt down drivers for those special cards. Restart my computer. Yes, of course. There's gotta be some kind of OEM. Oh yeah, definitely. What if I never want to install a printer? Go away. Set your time zone. Yeah, Tijuana sounds fine. How do you... You can't just click? Oh well, that's good enough. I don't need these. Remind me every 5th time I start Windows. Sure. What is this? Oh, it's too bad there's no sound. What? So we didn't get a sound driver, clearly. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and watch this guy scrub my windows. How do we skip? Guess we can't skip. Oh wait. Oh, now he's got a saw. He's getting in there one way or the other. Man, I know this has some ridiculous sound. I wish it was working. We went through all that trouble of cutting it. Oh, only Compaq in the 90s could come up with this. Oh, it is killing me not being able to hear this. What? What is he doing? He's gonna get changed right in front of us. Checking all my audio ports. Oh, I was in the wrong one.
The most innovative PC on anybody's desktop. And now it's on yours.
I really want to go through that again.
Let's explore what's inside your new Compaq Presario. Go on. Press it.
That is like max volume. Okay, I guess I'll press it. Yeah, that's what you get. How long does this go on?
Well, it looks like it's time to register your computer and get your warranty information on file.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, and you'll also be automatically entered in a contest to win a vacation anywhere in the continental United
Oh,
States.
come on.
Say, does that go for me too?
No, John.
This is terrible. Oh, it expired on June 30th, 1997. Always too late.
Just type your first name, then move to the next box by pressing the tab.
How about no?
Don't worry if you make a mistake, we'll fix it later.
You'll fix nothing. So, is this like the actual interface? What the? You got AOL, mouse, modem. What is this? It's like a compact version of Microsoft Bob. Okay, I think I got speaker connected correctly. Let's see what's in this elevator.
Want a place to call home?
I sure would.
Think of this
What?
place as your home base. Here you can choose your own personal workspace and either get help or information when you need it. Going up!
This is ridiculous. What is this? Like,
The best part is that you can always get back here at the touch of a button.
okay, what do they have for games? Oh, what the? That wasn't.
This is especially useful when your software makes you feel like you're lost on an alien planet. How do you find your way back?
This is ridiculous.
No problem. Just press the button on the front of your machine.
Oh,
looks like
that
this.
button.
Cheers.
Oh, that was so helpful.
Your Presario's help system has answers on everything you need to keep your PC zipping along.
That's not my
Hardware to
Presario.
software, all the how-tos are in one place. This is the place to come whenever you need help, or you're just frustrated. You'll find information about many problems, as well as ways to reach Compaq directly if you can't solve the problem yourself.
I definitely gotta archive this image. But I wonder why it shows one of those all-in-one Compaqs. Okay, well, so do we not have actual Windows 95 on here? I'm sorry, hit the Windows key. Nothing, apparently. What if I hit the Compaq key?
By now, you may have noticed buttons like these on your computer.
I sure
These
did.
buttons are one of the defining differences of the Presario family. They give you quick access to some really useful features, like answering your phone or playing your music CDs.
I feel so special.
Now just
My
click
own
on
buttons.
any item or choose Exit.
Get me what? Okay, well, no. What is home base?
You know how sometimes you get so lost you don't know how to find your way back?
Oh, this again.
Just press the button on the front of your machine.
Okay, fine. I'll press the button on the machine.
It'll get you all the help you need.
I just pressed it. What if I press it again? Okay, I guess this is the home base. What's communications? Probably gonna take me to AOL.
If your Presario came with a modem, it is ready to send and receive faxes. In fact, you can create a document and send a fax without ever having to print it out. Ta-da!
No way! The future is here.
You can receive faxes,
Oh, look at that
view them on
monitor.
screen, and store them in your computer, all without fiddling with paper.
Unbelievable.
Your Presario can also be a personal voicemail system. It has 2 mailboxes for your home office or family.
My Presario can do so much.
A blinking light on your Presario tells you when there are messages waiting. Just use the controls on screen to play the messages back. Hands-free calling? No problem. Your Presario is a speakerphone. It also has a personal phone book that dials numbers and helps you track your calls.
Hold on, I need to go back through that. I need to hear that phone sounds banger they put together without talking over it.
If your Presario came with a modem, it is ready to send and receive faxes. In fact, you can create a document and send a fax without ever having to print it out. Ta-da! You can receive faxes, view them on screen, and store them in your computer, all without fiddling with paper. Your Presario can also be a personal voicemail system. It has 2 mailboxes for your home office or family. A blinking light
That's
on
incredible.
your Presario tells you when there are messages waiting.
Okay,
Just use
get me
the
out.
controls on screen
Go to home
play
base.
the messages back.
They won't. Okay, I'm done hearing about all the great things about my Presario.
Problem. Your Presario is a speakerphone.
Go away. Okay, so I guess we can exit this, can't we?
By now, you probably have a good overview of your Presario
course you have
and
a
are ready
spiel.
to try it out. There's only one little problem. You still need to complete your registration.
Ugh,
Remember, this
really?
is the only way you get all the latest Compaq updates and have a chance to win that great vacation.
I guess I'll never get that vacation. Go away.
Happy computing, and thanks again for buying Compaq.
What the? Press delete introductory video portion to remove the video portion of the introductory application. No, I want to keep it. It's cool. Okay, so how are we supposed to use this? Add workspace. New username. Ugh. This thing is too much. Well, now I know why it has that fancy MPEG decoder card. Had to play that sick intro. Ooh, these sounds are delicious. Well, of course I'd like to configure my new TrackMan. Hi, that's funny. That's the exact mouse I have. Oh, how right you are. Let's go. Done. Look at that, a fresh version of Netscape Navigator. Ho ho! Remember that? Oh, they can't reach the DNS server. Aw. Look at this. Netscape 2.0.1. What's cool? I miss the 90s. Home.netscape.com was cool, but it's gone. What else was in there? Netscape on internet account. Netscape had an ISP? Alright, so clearly this is a blank image, so we're not going to find anything terribly interesting, I don't think. Oh, except what Compaq put on here. AOL Cartoon Network. Oh, come on, I wish this would work. Take me to Cartoon Network. Oh no, not without being an America Online customer. Yeah, we're not getting far with this. I'm not currently interested in a free membership. They make it sound so aggressive. And it just goes away. What version of AOL is this? Looks like 3.0. No, I think this is older than 3.0. Alright, this is all correct. Go away. Okay. Oh, it's trying to connect. I don't hear any modem clickies. Oh, that was a speaker popping. No dial tone. You don't know how much I wish this would just connect. Modem relay is clicking. Okay, let's cancel this. Let's see. Yeah, AOL 2.5. Wow. And obviously unused. Okay. Now let's get out of here. Work at home. It was so ahead of its time. AOL Career Center. AOL is all over this. Them and Compaq must have been tight. See, home and leisure. You have AOL Homes? Well, almost. How does Quicken qualify as home and leisure? Explain that. See what's entertainment. Cakewalk Express? Hey, Cakewalk on here? What's the Compaq Phaser Pad? Games Control Center. Let's see. Oh, it comes with games? What? List of games are directly supported by the Phaser Pad. Don't tell me there was some kind of game controller specific to Compaq? Let's see, what if I hit properties? Yeah, it's got a mapper. Compaq had a lot more going on than I realized. And there's no games in here, is there? We can't add any of these, right? Oh, maybe you can. Let's see. Oh, Game Control Center was unable to find the game program for this title. Yeah, figured. Done. Exit. Let's see. Did it actually have Cakewalk Express? Yeah, sure does. Huh. With a scream icon. Make a scream. What does that even do? No idea. See how well that Gravis ultrasound records. This little metronome thing. Let's see, playback. I have no idea how to use this. This is cool though. Breaking it down. Let's get out of here. No, won't save that masterpiece. Communication, of course, AOL all over it. AOL electronic mail. Make it sound so futuristic. Let's see what's in reference education. AOL education. Ugh. AOL just did everything. It really did. See, system tools. Of course, you have AOL computing. Ooh, system information. Let's see what it says. And yep, that's information. Very nice. System monitor, kernel processor usage. How do I make it do stuff? Add? I did not know this was a thing in Windows 95. Dirty data? Plenty of that on here. Wait, there was an explain button. Explain dirty data. Number of bytes waiting to be written to disk. Note that dirty data is kept in a per cache block basis, and so a number higher than the actual number of bytes written may be reported. Okay, doesn't explain why it's dirty. Well, let's monitor dirty data. Let's see, what else? GNN. I'm even more confused. GNN Messenger? Open that up. What is or was this? Global Network Navigator, huh? I'm not familiar with this. And that didn't help. Ooh, we're getting some dirty data though. Other internet and online services? What else was cramming on here? CompuServe? CompuServe and AOL competing for the same Compaq customer. Let's open that up. Sys connection. That's all we get. See, new. Probably no point in going through this. Yeah, I think that's it. Wait, I said Interwave. Why is there an uninstaller but no program? Mediamatic software MPEG. So this must have been the original image for this particular system. Let's see, what is Arcade Media Player? Okay, it's a media player, apparently. Is there any media in there? Well, kinda. That's the Windows media. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. See what this sounds like on a Gravis ultrasound clone. You know, it actually sounds great. I never guessed it was MIDI. Or I assume this is MIDI. Yeah, I guess so. I love that. Alright. I can't get stuck in that. It's gotta be MIDI, right? Yeah, it's MIDI file. My Compaq is a classical music connoisseur. And these are all sounds, or waves. Huh, that's cool. What else is in there? Oh, just QuickTime for Windows. Wow, I remember those icons. See if there's any preloaded movies. Nope. Let's see, what's sample? Press spacebar. Calibrating. What? Oh, this. I remember this. Please close this movie to complete calibration. Did this actually calibrate anything? Or is it just a video? Yeah. It's just a video. Oops, wrong button. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, Compaq really crammed this thing full of interesting things. You know, I gotta try something on that Gravis ultrasound. So I guess now is as good a time as any to see if that CD-ROM drive works. Ooh, we got a gear mechanism. No belts to perish here, but this needs to be flipped back, or however. These are for holding the disk in place if the CD-ROM drive is mounted vertically. And I guess we'll see if it reads a CDR. I have my doubts. Yeah, seems to be doing nothing with that. Let's just make sure. Yep, thing has no disk as far as it's concerned. Well, let's see if it'll read a pressed CD. And that seems like a no too. But Compaq, you love AOL. Let's just double check. Yeah, solid no. That CD-ROM is dead. So that sucks. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get data on here. Something larger than a floppy disk. If you guessed by connecting the hard drive back to the bench PC, congratulations! You may pick up one internet from our station headquarters. There we are. And yeah, I'm gonna be basic and run Doom on it, though I highly doubt this is actually gonna work. Let's go into setup. Choose music card. Gravis ultrasound. Try setting the sound effects card to that too. With 8 sound effects, why not? Let's do that. And sounds like a no. Yeah, no music, no sound effects. And why are we frozen? Oh, there we go. Well, could have guessed that. Probably a number of things wrong. Let's see if it even works with general MIDI. I don't even know what MIDI port it's supposed to have. We'll guess. And we guessed wrong. Yeah, no music, no sound effects. Ugh. This may take more fiddling than I have time for. Let's try it in DOS mode. Oh, that was a weird shutdown sound. I see there's some kind of error in autoexec.bat, but I'll try Gravis again in DOS mode. I could be completely wrong about that card being Gravis ultrasound compatible, but I would think that general MIDI would at least work, right? Boo, no sound. Let's try Sound Blaster. I don't even know if sound is properly configured in DOS mode here. And that's a no. We may never know, kids. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about Interwave being GUS compatible, or maybe it needs the RAM expansion. I just don't have enough time to investigate further. I'm trying real hard to keep that weekly upload schedule while maintaining that pesky full-time job. Anyways, I want to sanitize this image, or make sure it's sanitized. Why did we get wave volume? Oh, who knows. Because I intend to archive this image, but I don't think there's any personal data on here. I think this is a clean install. The problem is, even a clean install, if not properly formatted, can still have artifacts of personal data that are recoverable through forensic tools, like PhotoRec. I don't know what these mailbox PSTs are about. They're just default. Why is there an Exchange folder on here anyway? Let's see, where are these from? Details. Okay, yeah, these gotta be default. 1996. So yeah, I don't see much personal data evidence. So just to briefly explain how file systems work. Even if you delete a file, its contents still stay on the disk. The operating system is just deleting the file header. The data structure is still there and is still recoverable. The only way to really get rid of it is to force that data to be overwritten. And one of the ways we can do that is by filling all the free space with garbage. So let's get back on the bench PC, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I made a copy of that image so that we can do no harm to the original. And so we can actually mount that image like a regular hard drive using a loopback device. But first, I know there's multiple partitions, so we gotta scan it using the LO setup. Because there's BIOS and I think recovery partitions. Let's see. Alright, so we get dev loop 14, so see all partitions associated with that. Okay, yeah. Got 4 partitions, and actually you can F-disk that. And print. And yes indeed. So partition 1 is the main partition, obviously, being 2 gigabytes. So that's the one I'm primarily interested in. Let's get out of here. So let's create a mount point for it. C-1, I guess. We should be able to just mount it. And let's see. And yeah, that's what we expect to see. So we're going to use DD again and take input from the dev/0 device, which does nothing but emit zeros. Just write it into a file called 0, and will give us a nice progress indicator. Ooh! Why do I always do that? This will fill all the remaining free space with zeros, and it'll have the added benefit of making this more compressible. So let's do that. Shouldn't take long at all. And there we go. That free space is now full of zeros, so we can actually just get rid of that file. So that'll probably cause problems. Alright, let's unmount that. Oops. Now I can try to see if there's any recoverable data using a forensic recovery tool called PhotoRec. Let's actually make a directory for that. And now we should just be able to run PhotoRec against the image. Alright, proceed. We're going to select whole disk. Who knows, they might have stored something on those other disks. They are fat file systems. And we'll choose our Cobra Compaq directory. See when correct. And didn't take long at all. Let's go see what it found. Alright, created 5 directories. Let's see what was in the first one. This looks like all default stuff. Just default graphics and text documents. Yeah, I think this image is clean. Yep, more images, and what in the... I wonder what is this from? Clearly they're stock images. Yeah, none of this looks like personal data. I'll scrutinize it further, but I'm highly doubtful. But just as a matter of curiosity, let's run PhotoRec against the unmodified image. Shouldn't hurt it, since it's a read-only. I just copied it off just in case anyway. So let's create a separate directory. And run that. Proceed. Whole disk. Other. And let's choose our second directory. Let's go. Okay, yeah, that recovered 3029 files. I didn't think to take note of what it was before, but I don't think it was that high. And yeah, there are definitely more files. This has 7 directories. So there was definitely recoverable data on that image, but I'll scrutinize it further. But anyway, that's how you ghetto sanitize an image, because I already checked and the recovery disks for this system don't exist on the archives. Okay, one last order of business. I need to fix that file system inconsistency that was stopping it from booting, and we're just going to do that in Linux. We can use fsck.fat and just point it to that loopback device. See, what do you find? And it finds the same situation that ScanDisk found. Let's remove that dirty bit. Alright. Yes, write my changes. Very good. And cleanup shouldn't take much at all. Yeah, certainly not. It's cleaning up real easily. Hardest part is getting in this ridge. And some of this is just plain old plastic damage. But yeah, there's no helping this model badge. That's just straight up damaged. There is still one problem with that disk image though. It only works if I clone it back to the original drive. Now the dd command produces an exact byte for byte representation of the physical disk, so it doesn't make any sense why it would be selective on the type of drive. The sector layout's still the same. That makes me think there's something Compaq-y going on. Something in the BIOS expects that exact geometry drive, but I haven't quite figured out what, so that image is going to be pretty useless outside of this specific system. But anyway, I hope that Presario intro triggered somebody's nostalgia and set off some core memories. And if somebody out there remembers that, and who was that actor? I swear I've seen him before. And massive thanks to all the patrons and channel supporters. These are the people keeping the sponsors away and saving you from annoying ad reads. And trust me, they keep trying. So thanks so much to them, and thank you for watching.